Andrew, do you know who Chase Young is?
Yeah, of course.
No. My point is, I don't either.
Before I said that Cade Cunningham would never be an All-Star, and I just wanted to double down on that. I just.
We're back
What's going
with
on with
another.
Mike's video?
I know.
Happy Memorial Day, everyone. We got the NBA Finals taking shape, and let's dive into the NFL. Let's go.
Welcome back.
What's going on, Jam Squad? I'm MK. I'm your host. I am here with John.
What's up, buddy? How we
What's
doing?
going on, my man? What's going on? Just waiting on Tesla Maze. He clicked in here for a second. Now he's gone. He must be having troubles with his connection. And Drew, do I have to wait to the very end now to get?
I saw him today too. The crazy thing is, I at least saw him today, so I know he's alive and good, and he's kicking. I just don't know where he's at.
That's super funny. Happy Memorial Day, my man. Happy
You
Memorial
too, brother.
Day.
You too. You too.
Let's start diving into it. Before we get started, let me. How do I want to put this up? Boom. Okay.
Oh,
Before we get started, NBA legend Bill Walton passed away today. Absolute legend on the basketball court, both in college and in the NBA. So we wanted to give him his condolences to his family.
Man, for sure, UCLA legend, man.
Definitely. The Boston Celtics end up sweeping the Pacers, winning today, score 105-102 with Derek White's dagger 3-pointer there at the end. Jaylen Brown ended up getting the MVP for the Eastern Conference Finals, so they will be in the finals. Right? Let's see. I see Tesla Mace trying to connect.
Almost
trying to. I don't see it. I don't see his camera coming up though. So Boston actually makes the finals. Okay. Here, let me. I want to get I wanted to get everybody's reaction on this, on next piece. If you're joining us on the live, say what's up in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Or if you're Tesla Mason are trying to hook up but can't, let us know in the comments.
Say hi on the chat too. What's up, man?
I don't think there were any surprises there with that Boston Pacers series. Were there any surprises to you, John?
No, man, but I will say this was the game that the Pacers really needed Halliburton, and I know that obviously he's got his injury and he was struggling, and he was a doubtful to even play this game, and obviously he didn't play, but man, they needed him today, and I think it was a back and forth game. It was a really good final game, but just didn't have the Pacers just didn't have enough juice, man.
Yeah, no kidding. Lucky for Boston, though, I believe they get Porzingis back. Yeah, for the finals.
Yeah, yes. I don't think it's game 1 and possibly not game 2. I could be wrong, but they will get him back at some point there, and that's going to be huge for the Celtics. Huge.
Definitely. definitely huge. On the other side, in the West, Dallas is up 3-0 against. Oh, who are they even playing again?
Timberwolves.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know because they haven't shown up. And my
Big
man Drew, what's
out of
going
the
on, baby?
darkness. Like he's out of the Batcave. What's up, Batman?
He,
He's out of the car.
yeah, he is. Wait, hold on. You're muted, my guy.
I'm muted.
There-
I'm on the road, guys.
Yeah.
But I had to jump in when you're talking these Celtics,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing unexpected. We all knew that Boston was going to take care of business. They kind of, getting the 1 seed really mattered this year in the East. Last year, we were all talking about how Miami just made it on the 8th seed. This year, it mattered. They got to face, I can't even remember who Miami, but they had an injured Butler, so they didn't have to worry about Miami really with that injured Butler. Second round, Donovan Mitchell gets injured halfway through the series. I mean, they were still kind of handling that series anyways, but so they didn't even suffer for missing out on Porzingis. They were able to handle that series. And then in this one, Halliburton was out. So they kind of, I don't want to say an easy path, but they lost 2 games so far. So they're 12-2 so far on their road to the finals. So
if you're watching on the live, make sure you subscribe. We're really trying to upgrade Tesla Mesa's internet connection so that he can join us on the live here.
Guys, we're almost there. You could be that one viewer that puts him over. So it'd really help us.
Would really help us. I don't know where he's at. He likes to travel.
You know what? It's crazy. The East has really been littered with injuries, though. Embiid kind of coming off of it. The Knicks were just losing a guy, it seemed like, every game. So
for real.
It was, they were out. Mitchell, Brunson for part of the series against the Pacers.
Just riddled with injuries for sure.
Josh Hart. They're cursed. They're cursed until they get a new owner, I think, is the problem. But
so Dallas is up 3-0 against the Timberwolves, right? I believe they play tomorrow. Yes.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
I believe they play tomorrow, and I don't even think there's any question that they're probably going to sweep. They've just been clutch down the stretch. Because there's been times the Timberwolves have had the lead, but here comes Dallas.
Yep.
Which then brings me to, and here's a couple of slides here. Kyle Kuzma rejected a trade to Dallas at the end of the trade deadline, because he felt that they weren't, quote, true contenders.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my, that's got to sting. The only other one that stings more than that is this guy. And I know you're thinking, oh wait, well that's Squidward looking at SpongeBob and Patrick. No, that's actually Grant Williams looking at Dallas and the Celtics. For those who don't follow the NBA, Grant Williams used to play for both teams, and now doesn't play for either. And I don't think they didn't even make the playoffs, right? I think he played Hornets, right? He's over with the Hornets now.
I mean, to be fair, he was probably too late to save the Hornets season, but yes. Even if he had that ability, he was too late for that. But what a great deal for the Mavericks, because getting PJ Washington over Kyle Kuzma was the best thing that could have ever happened to them. I mean, I think Kyle Kuzma is a great player. I don't know why he would be dictating where he goes anywhere, because he's not that great of a player. He's just a good role player.
I would say he's a good player.
I was gonna go there.
I don't know, great.
I would say
good player.
Yeah.
So
like
when I say
decent
great,
good, so
when I say great, I mean like, seems like a nice guy. I don't know. I'm just really nice.
what?
I mean, he he's a
Okay.
role player. He's a starter on some teams. He's not even a starter on all teams. So that's kind of how I look at him. I don't think he's a starter on every team he plays for.
That's like decent to good, but I do think PJ Washington is very much a step above that, and I would say even just throughout the playoffs, he's done a good job holding his own.
Yeah, I think he's a better rebounder. He's a better
Yeah.
defender, and he had a couple games where he was lights out from three that basically won the series against the Thunder for them. So, yeah, no, hands down, best thing that could have happened to them was getting PJ Washington over Kuzma. If that was a real, actual like conversation that Kuzma rejected that that trade or whatever.
Definitely. Anyways, I thought you guys would like that meme. I was seriously
That's
trying to
good.
get. There were a couple of memes of Grant Williams, like his picture over Squidward, but you couldn't. There wasn't the same effect, obviously.
Yeah,
No, so I had to.
that was a total. It's kind of a looks bad on him a little bit, I guess, but.
Who did he rub the wrong way? Was it Luka or was it Kyrie?
You know what though? It was more like he just wasn't effective in that for that team. It's not what the team needed. He's a hustle guy. That's what he is. He hustles. He plays hard. So I love players like that. But he doesn't have the size they needed. They don't need a guy. They don't need a guy who's 6'5" or whatever how tall 6'4" or whatever how tall he is. They needed 6'10" guys, 6'9" guys. They need big guys that could run the floor like PJ Washington, like play really good defense like Lively and Gafford. Like those are the guys they need to fill out their roster. They already have two of the most skilled offensive players in the NBA, and they're on the same team, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
They got Doncic and Kyrie. I mean, is there a better guard backcourt than them, at least offensively, like that you can think of? Even in recent NBA history?
No, I don't think so. But I think that what makes them more lethal. I mean, Dame and McCollum were good, but McCollum's not a take it to the rack kind of guy, right? Like he's your mid range. He'll shoot threes. Same thing in Phoenix, right? Everybody's a jump shooter. Nobody's like take it to the rack. Durant might every now and then, but nobody's actually giving you that threat. I think Luka and Kyrie have both of that. They can take it to the rack. They can finish in the lane, right? They can make the right dish if they need to, and they can shoot. So I mean, you got a triple threat in both guys, not just.
I was thinking of recent backcourts, right? We got Clay and Steph.
Yeah.
They were a crazy, amazing backcourt, but Clay, like what you were saying, he's not really someone who's going to take it off the dribble and get to the.
Not unless that lane is wide open. It has to be wide open for him to do that.
Yep.
I mean, now, as far as the Splash Bros, go ahead. Sorry.
Right. No. You're good. Like you're absolutely right, John. He won't take it to the rim unless the lane is wide open. He won't cut to the rim after a screen unless the lane is wide open.
Correct.
Right. You'll see him. Exactly. You'll see him slip screen, and flare. Slip screen and flare. 99% of the time. And it's that 1% that he like, oh, hey, look, there's nobody near the basket. Yeah.
Whereas Luka and Kyrie have the skills where they can go anywhere, right? And then the other backcourt I thought about was Harden and CP3. CP3, he is better at getting to the rim. Harden obviously was getting to the rim all day, getting fouls and stuff. But even those two, I think I'd still. This was hard to say because two of those players are great players. They almost beat the Durant Warriors. So ton of credit to those two guys. But this Luka Kyrie combo, the skills they have is just kind of unprecedented for a backcourt together. It's pretty crazy. So
I think
Yeah.
their chemistry is better than Harden and CP3's were.
yeah,
It's so cohesive and not there's no ounce of selfishness to it when you take it to the rackets, because you're either on a mismatch or you have that confidence in the ability to get there and no one's going to question it, right? And if it's not there, it's a dish out. So whereas CP3, if he's not getting enough touches, might say something. Harden, if he's not getting enough touches, might say something. It's different dynamic, I think. And so I think you're spot on, Drew.
exactly.
I love it. I love it. The NBA finals are about to get wrapped up, man. So have we seen with both teams? I mean, what Mavericks are about to sweep. Boston did sweep, right? Oh, who are we taking in the finals? I'm going to project that the Dallas is probably going to take it. I don't think any team has come back from 3-0, let alone 3-1, to take it, especially into the finals. But I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not an NBA historian. You can call me out on that if you want to, Drew.
No one has ever come back from being down 0-3 in a 7-game series ever. Doesn't matter, first round, second round. Back in the day when the first round was a 5-game series, there were some people that came back from being down 2-0, and they went 3 in a row. The Celtics last season almost did it. They were down 0-3 and got it to 7 against Miami.
It's just tough to do, man.
It's hard to win 4 in a row. I don't care how good of a team you are, right? So that was kind of the closest I've seen. I think it's happened before where someone was able to get it to 7, but no one's ever come back from that. I don't see that happening now. I mean, anything's possible, I guess, but something that I think the Wolves need, and what we saw against the Nuggets is they had a game plan and then they got countered. That's why it's so hard. You know, the other coach comes back with their game plan to counter your game plan, and then you lose a game, but then you figure it out and you come back, and that's why that series against the Nuggets went 7, because they kept countering each other with some different game plans, switching it up. Well, you don't have that luxury anymore. You just lost 3 in a row, so you have to hope your game plan carries for 4 games. It's just really, really hard with teams this good. And then with Luka and Kyrie, they could go off for 50 at any minute. So it's like, what are you going to do at that point? For 4, I don't know. It's tough.
I feel. I mean, don't get me wrong. Luka and Kyrie have been amazing, right? Like, they're very clutch down the stretch, but that last stretch, especially in the last game, couple possessions for Minnesota were just terrible. I'm like, you can't. You have the lead, right? They're gonna go for the win. They're not gonna go. They're up 2 games. They're gonna go for the win. What do they care if they lose 1? All right, that's on the road. They know they have your number. Like, why are you playing the drive against a guy against arguably their best 3-point shooter, right? Luka's their best 3-point shooter. Don't give him the step back 3. Run him off the 3-point line. Try to recover, play, that backside defense, and hopefully somebody will rotate over. Force it out of his hand. If they win by 3, or if they win by a 3-pointer, whatever, but make somebody else make that.
Yeah.
Luka's not the guy you want. I mean, obviously, if you're Dallas, Luka's the guy you want shooting that. But if you're Gobert, it frustrates me.
As soon as he
so
switched,
frustrated to watch.
As soon as he switched, Luka smiled. He's just like, "Oh, okay." Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And he switched so early. That's
What
what
up,
I
little
don't
bro,
get. He switched so early. Little bro, what's cracking? Welcome. I don't even know if bro has been watching the NBA.
He's waiting for football talk. Is what he's waiting for.
Of course. That's my football guy
NFL.
right there.
Yeah.
You need anything to talk, lineman wise, little bro's the guy to go to. This dude, so in high school, this dude was the pulling guard. Would
Oh, there you go.
lay out defensive ends, right? Was so good when they would run their counter that the high school coach said, okay, if we run counter left, I want you on the opposite side. And then if we run counter right, I want you on the opposite side. So he would actually, switch. And for whatever reason, I don't know if guys just Mr. Tesla Mace himself, sir.
Sorry, guys. I'm in the
That's
middle of trying to come up to the border of California, and service sucks here.
I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. I didn't get the memo that we were supposed to like. All right. Okay. We're good. We're good now. We're in dark mode.
We're in dark mode.
We're in dark mode. All right.
I had to get up from my light behind me.
No, we're good. I'll turn my lights back on because this is super dark. Anyways, teams just would never pick it up. Like, what in the world? Like, hey, if the guy's on that side, they're pulling that way. If he's on this side, they're pulling that way. Like, it's like the easiest read, but they didn't pick it up in high school, and he would just flatline guys. Bro, how many finals or semifinals did you guys end up going to for state? I don't remember. I only remember winning mine.
Got him.
He's gonna be mad about that. I give him crap about that all the time. You got anything to chime in on this Dallas series? I knew he was gonna chime in. Boo. Go ahead, Tesla.
I got something to chime in. I picked Dallas, so all three of you picked the other team. Just making sure we're aware. If you want to roll back the tape, I'll be sweeping you guys off the court.
Bro, said all 4 years.
Yet, so
it's actually been a competitive series. I'm surprised that. I mean, let's face it. Like, Luka is the slowest player out there, right? But if you get it into a 3-4 point game with 4 minutes left, like, it's probably gonna be Luka's game at the end of the day. So he's probably, he's a better closer. He has a better team that closes around him. I think it'll be a heck of a finals then versus Boston. But if it's a close games, I think Boston's in trouble. That's the thing with Boston too, is they just kind of like blow people out. I know the last 2 games have been competitive, but I mean, they're placing an Indiana team without Halliburton out there, and no real make.
Yeah, there goes that California border service.
Sounds like a robot.
Hey, reader.
Dallas is just manhandling them, and they're just, the stars are performing. So
yeah,
it's that.
So
you're very accurate in that.
I think the biggest difference though when it comes to the finals matchup, I mean, we know it's going to be Celtics Mavs, right? There's no question. So the biggest thing that's going to that the Celtics need against them is Porzingis healthy. So something the Celtics have done all season is when they close out games, having Porzingis in there makes them like very dangerous offensively. So it's really hard to stop them. So I don't know. I think Celtics. I don't want them to win because it hurts my my Lakers legacy, But it's going to be a tough matchup, especially if Porzingis back.
Oh my goodness, bro! Did you guys make semis all 4 years? Is that what you're telling me? I know they made finals one of those 4 years. He says he's into all contact sports, including hockey fights.
Oh, hockey's the best.
Soccer fights.
Hockey fights are the best.
And NBA fights too. Oh my
Malice at the
goodness.
Palace.
That's too funny. Hey,
You
did
guys
you
saw. You
catch
guys heard the news that Bill Walton passed away today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the
I
first
mean,
one.
if you would have been at the border a little earlier in the podcast, you would have
Hey, I've
seen
been
that we
trying,
paid
man.
tribute.
I've been trying. I'm not even driving. I mean, Natalie's a
Uh,
trooper, you know.
that was my next question. Let me make sure you're safe first. You're
Are
not
you
Yeah,
driving,
we're
driving?
right?
good. I'm not driving. I'm. Well, I
Driving,
don't
he's got a
know.
light on himself, and he's
Yeah.
trying to pay attention. Don't run
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
over.
Natalie's
The real
driving, so
question
we're
is
Thank you,
good.
Natalie.
the real question is did you catch my meme? You know who that is, right?
SpongeBob.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's Grant Williams looking at Dallas and Celtics making the final.
His two former teams. That's awesome.
It's
Poor
too
guy.
much. It is too much. Have to throw that back in there.
That's
Anywho,
funny.
yeah, we did talk about that.
Okay, my fault.
There is a kid in college right now out of South Carolina. This kid is 6'5", 240 pounds. Okay. And he just qualified for the NCAA nationals in both the 100 meter and 200 meter.
Oh, I saw that too.
He ran the
crazy.
100 meter in a 10.12. Now, to
That
give
is
you
crazy.
reference, Tyreek Hill runs it in a 10.19. So he runs the 100 meter faster. He ran the 200 meter.
Tyreek's not that tall though, is he?
No, he's not.
No.
Not even
Wow.
close. And not, clearly not as heavy. Dude, 240, that's a lot of weight. To get moving that fast. Oh my
Sounds like my
gosh.
build.
That's dangerous. Dangerous with that speed.
Yeah, but we said 10.2, not 100.2, Andrew.
But if this dude can catch, yikes. I mean, that's essentially that's DK, right? That's DK Metcalf. Tall,
Right.
like yoked, and can
Yeah, either
absolutely fly.
either if he can catch or you make him a safety on the other side of the field and he's lighting somebody up.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's crazy.
No kidding. Big news. Oh, well, let me get the breaking news out.
Breaking news.
Big news out of Denver, man. Or out of Chicago. Caleb Williams has been benched in OTAs after 7 consecutive interceptions. He did not complete a single pass in 7-on-7.
Way to go, Bears.
7-on-7, dude. That is not
Way
good.
to go, Bears.
I don't think that could have happened to anybody else.
Mr.
Who is
Hollywood.
that? Who is that right there throwing the ball? Number 18 looks like Peyton Manning. I was like, whoa.
Nah, Peyton Manning would never get benched. He could probably throw left-handed and not get benched.
Okay, 7-on-7, dude. Okay, 7-on-7. Okay, I get it. You
So,
don't
Mike,
complete a pass.
what does 7-on-7 mean for those who don't know what that means?
So essentially, you're getting, you're practicing your route combinations against the defense with no linemen. So you don't have anybody blocking, but you also don't have anybody rushing you. So he drops back into there is no pocket. He literally just hikes the ball, and they usually give him about 4 to 5 seconds, usually 4 seconds. And if after 4 seconds, they consider it a sack, right? In high school, they usually count to 5, and after that 5 seconds, ref will blow the whistle. That's a sack. That's just good coverage. A coverage sack, basically, right? But to throw 7 consecutive interceptions, that's not good, man. That means you don't. Bro says, "Ouch." He said, first you got to know your scheme.
Yeah,
Duh.
right.
Like that is it. And 2, you got to know the routes. Yeah, you got to know the routes. So here's my question. Is this him? Is his flaws now showing in a system that isn't as quarterback friendly? I mean, he came from Kingsbury. Kingsbury's just known for having good schemes. I mean, For those who don't know, Caleb Williams didn't play in the bowl game. The backup quarterback came in and played and still threw for 6 touchdowns. Like that's a good system, right? That's not just, oh, well, Caleb Williams is just all that. No, that's a straight up system. Is he getting exposed right now? Or are you chalking this one up to, this is just growing pains? What do you think?
So I'm gonna say growing pains. I'm a little concerned though that they're benching him in OTAs like that. What type of message are you sending to the kid, right? Like,
Who's their backup right now?
that's
Do you
my
know?
point.
Does
I have no
anybody
idea.
know?
I don't think they brought Trubisky back, did they?
No, it's that rookie that
Oh,
played a
another
little bit
rookie.
less. Well, not he's not. See, it says year 2. I'm sorry, but it Tyler. I'll look at it up right now.
Yeah, somebody get that for
sorry.
me because Bro said poop. Poop emoji.
Yeah, I don't think, like I said, I think that's just the wrong message to send. Like, he's clearly the quarterback this year. Like, what are they doing? I can't see this thing lasting very long. I think they're probably just trying to send a message, and maybe it's just like I don't know. I don't know how it's a motivator to bench a guy who, who's the guy supposedly. So
I think the hard part is that you're not seeing that out of any of the other quarterbacks that came out.
But
This
we're probably not throwing 7 in a row either, right? Like, I'll tell you what. So first of all, the backup quarterback's name is Tyson Bagent, and second of all,
Yes, sir.
after my 3rd or 4th interception, I'm grabbing and his running back.
I'm
is
handing it off.
It's 7-on-7.
DeAndre Swift and Roshan Johnson. I'm grabbing one of those receivers and I'm saying you're going to do a Texas route on one side or the other. All I care about now is where that running back's going to go, so I can dump it off and get some sort of either angle route or a Texas route to the receiver or to the running back, so I can at least get reset the downs and not have that many interceptions. That's crazy.
Here's the thing, though, from my understanding with this Caleb Williams kid is he's mega confident, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's very comfortable with his own skin, right? I mean, just how he dresses, his mannerisms, right? Like that's very much normal for him, and that might be an issue as far as growing and becoming better. That might be one of his. Is he willing to learn, right? Is he willing to accept? Hey, I got benched. Now let me put in the work and get my job back, right? Like, or is he just so confident that you guys made a mistake, right? So it's an interesting time for him, and I think it's good that he gets this very early on. But we'll see how he rebounds from it.
In his defense, and I guess in all of his weapons defenses, they do have a new offensive coordinator. His name is Shane Waldron. This is his first year as an offensive coordinator for the Bears. He spent the last 3 seasons with the Seahawks in the same role, but you got new offensive coordinator, right? Even if they had the same offensive coordinator, you still had Keenan Allen, Swift, Averett, Romo Dunze, Caleb Williams. I mean, that's 5 guys that still have to learn a brand new offense, right? Even if they kept the old OC. So I get it. They're probably. Bobo says he needs some humble pie.
Yeah, let him eat it up.
Hey, it happens.
I think there's a lot.
NFL
Probably
will show it to you.
I think benching him like that, there's obviously things that they're dealing with this guy already.
Correct.
That they think, okay, I'm sure they thought through that before doing it. Is he working hard enough? There's a lot of questions. Is he working hard enough? Is he think that he's already, since he's the number 1 pick, he doesn't have to put in that work? Look, we don't know where his mind's at, but they have a firsthand, like they're seeing it firsthand, and I'm sure they benched him for a good reason. I've been worried about Caleb Williams since watching him in his senior year at USC. I think it's harder for smaller quarterbacks. I know he's like 6'1", 6'2", maybe, to kind of just start doing super well in the NFL. I know there's great quarterbacks that are 6'1", 6'2", so it's not like it's impossible. But I've always liked, some of the 6'4", 6'5", taller guys out there. I think it makes a difference, especially when you're transitioning to the NFL. So I think he's going to have some learning, some
Wasn't
hard learning
isn't there a
experience.
range? Isn't there a range that like the NFL likes? Is it between 6'1" and 6'4", or something like that? Like there's a 3-inch range that if you fall within that 3-inch range, like statistically, I don't know what those numbers are, but I know if you're below it, obviously Drew Brees, Russell Wilson are your exceptions, but they really want to be between that range. I want to say it's like 6'2" to 6'4".
Tom Brady's 6'4".
Yeah.
I think Peyton Manning is
Peyton
like
Manning's
6'5".
like 6'5", right?
Yeah. And there's a
Roethlisberger's the
reason for that.
exception, 6'8". They can see over the line,
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you can't
Yeah.
see over your linemen who are all 6'5", that makes things harder. You end up having to look for windows between the linemen, whether over anything else, and that's already hard to do. I mean, obviously Drew Brees made a living off of that, right? And then Russell had a hot streak. Hopefully he can regain his
I want to say
confidence
it's
in the mo.
under. I want to say it's under 6'1". I think is the number. So, if I'm not mistaken, and even I think over 6'5" too. I think it's 6'1". I mean, obviously
Yep.
you have your exceptions of Drew Brees and Russell Wilson and Ben Roethlisberger, but I think that's kind of like that sweet spot, if I'm not mistaken. 6'1"
Yeah.
to 6'5".
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Quick question for you guys. Who would you rather have? Which young running back would you rather have? Bijan Robinson, Brees Hall, Gibbs from Detroit, Kenneth Walker out of Seattle, or Achan with Miami? I already know Drew's going Achan.
No,
Miami all day.
no, actually, I like Brees Hall. I think actually, but I think
okay.
he had some really good games last season that I don't know.
Wait, are you going Brees Hall because he was on your fantasy team though?
I actually don't remember if he was on my fantasy team. I don't remember if he beat me or if I had him. So, but I was paying attention to those games. I mean, he had some really solid games at the end of the season. I remember. So,
Mike, who you taking?
So I was actually surprisingly thinking Brees Hall as well. I like what he's done in New York, especially with basically them stacking the box, knowing that they don't
good
have to
thing
worry
I went
about deep
first.
throws.
Yeah.
I know. I'm actually shocked he picked the same person as me, so it almost made me change my mind. But no, I think Brees Hall is. He's also in his third year, right? I think all those other guys are in their second, with the exception of Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, and
but,
he had a rough first year because he was injured a little bit.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was injured, but I mean, I think in New York, you can, it's very hard to run with the 8-man box when you have no quarterback threat, and what
Yep.
he's been able to do there has been, to me, it's been the biggest surprise. Iowa State product, if I'm not mistaken, too, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
John, who are you taking?
Actually, I'll take Bijan. For me, it's between
Ooh.
Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs, but I'll take Bijan because I think he's got a huge upside. To me, he's almost like a Derrick Henry type, but can be shiftier. So yeah, I'll take Bijan.
I'm gonna take Jahmyr Gibbs. I do like Brees Hall. Don't get me wrong. I really liked what he's been able to do with that stack box. You're absolutely right, Mike. But I'm also like, I like Jahmyr Gibbs' burst, especially that secondary burst. So with your point, John, Atlanta. When was the last time you think Atlanta had a 10+ sack player? I'm going to give you guys a heads
Vic
up.
Beasley,
So
right?
Atlanta, out of I want to say it was Vic Beasley.
Beasley.
But what year was that? What was the last year Atlanta had a 10+
When did they go to the
sack
Super
player?
Bowl? When did they go to the Super Bowl versus the Patriots? It'd be that year, right? 2017, 18,
I thought it was 16. Let me see.
16.
You're absolutely correct. You want to know that is actually the I don't even know how to say this. That is the longest streak or the longest drought any
2016.
team has had a 10+ sack player.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody else has
And
had
it seemed like
one.
Vic Beasley went downhill really fast too. Like,
Yeah, I
they were
don't know
like,
what happened there.
It's
Yeah.
quick.
right. Like, it must have just been a fluke, right?
I don't know if it was scheme. Like I don't know if it was. It's hard to tell because it was super quick. Like, Vic Beasley, and then he
like,
became a free agent, and like nobody wanted him. Like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. Maybe it has a little bit to do with Shanahan being the offensive coordinator, that they were putting up more points, so other teams had to drop
had
back
to
a little
catch up.
more.
You might be
so
onto
he had a
something
little
there.
bit more free rushing, and I mean
I
that's
think-
the only thing I could think of because he
I
left
think-
the next year, right?
Yeah, he
I think
did
so.
right after.
Yeah.
I think Jameer Gibbs is a good pick. I just think that because he had to split carries, he had to share his carries. I feel like we didn't get to see enough of him.
Right.
That's
You know,
true.
I really do. I think if he was able to carry the majority of the load, especially in the beginning of the season, it might have swayed my choice. But I do think
I agree.
he's very close, right? I picked Bijan, but I think Jameer Gibbs is literally a close second.
All right, I got 6 games for you guys, and you guys get to pick. Okay, these are the 6 longest win streaks versus a single team, and I want you guys to tell me. We'll go down the list, and I want you to tell me if the streak will continue this year or if it'll completely stop. You ready? So, we'll start from the bottom. Seahawks have beaten Philly 8 games in a row when they face them. Is that going to continue this year?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
That's
Is
I don't
it
know
in
if that
Philly?
Yeah.
I don't.
It
I
looks
believe
like
they.
If it's the way it's set up here, then yes.
No, I don't think it's the way. I don't even know if they play this year. I mean, obviously some of these are division rivals. Oh no, there's only one division rival.
I
no,
say
there's
the
2.
streak continues.
You say the string continues? I don't even know if Seattle plays. I'll have
Is
to look.
Philadelphia
I'm looking
ever
right
going to
now.
win another game? I mean, I don't know.
Oh yeah, right. With how stacked they came off of the offseason.
Who's
their
even
quarterback?
coaching Seattle this year?
The DC from Baltimore, Mike McDonald.
That's right.
Let me. I'll look up the. I'll look up if they play.
I'm looking it up right now.
Perfect. Let's go to the next game. Saints have beaten the Bears 8 in a row. Are they continuing that streak?
They don't play him this year.
Seahawks don't play Philly this year, so that'll stay. Okay.
So I'm right.
Good job, Drew. Way to go.
Before the season even starts, man, I already
Way to
want to
go.
know.
Want to know.
We'll count that towards your fantasy
This is what
points.
we needed.
Let's see. Saints over Bears have beaten Bears 8 in a row. Do you think if they were to play, would they continue that streak? I don't even know if they're playing this year. What do you think?
I would say yes. I would say no. You want to know something interesting?
Go ahead.
The Bears have the 7th best odds to win the NFC this year, according to
7th
Vegas.
best odds.
Doesn't that surprise you?
Hey,
the
well,
bet.
don't tell Caleb Williams that.
Yeah, that was before the OTA.
So before we continue on with the with the picks, we're gonna let Drew sign off. We know the NFL is a little bit more boring for Drew, so we're gonna let him go. Go enjoy time with your family, my friend.
Have a good one,
I'll
brother.
see you guys.
We'll
See you, Drew.
we'll see you later, Mom. All right, so we got Raiders. The Raiders will end up playing Broncos for sure. They have won the last 8 in a row. Does that streak continue, and will they win both games? That streak will continue. The question is, will they continue both or win both games? You say no?
I think Broncos got to get one. Broncos are going to
I
get one.
thought we
Like,
were
just
friends, man. You
look,
don't ever
look.
hear
At the end of the
me.
day, there's reasons that there's not a lot of division rivals on here. Like, it's just hard to beat a division opponent that many times, and consecutively. And the Raiders have done it. I understand, but I mean, it it's just hard. Like they tend to know each other's tendencies. It depends when they play. There's a lot of factors obviously involved. I'd imagine Broncos have been out the last couple of years of making the playoffs, and they may have sat players, but I just think of those rivalries that are there. Well, you got two. You got the Bears, Packers
Yep.
too.
Yep.
It's just hard. It's hard to get that consecutive win streak. That's my opinion. So I think Broncos get one this year. Sorry, Mike. No,
I
that's not what you want to hear.
I do see the Broncos offense improving, obviously, because they added a couple weapons there. Bo Nix, you're right. The coach is obviously a good coach. Sean Payton's a good coach. But what I don't see is them improve. I don't think they've been improved at all on defense. In fact, they've let go of a couple guys. So I don't think that they can keep up is my problem. I don't see them stopping anybody, which is odd in our division where they have to go up against Mahomes and they have to go
And
up
the Chiefs,
against
yeah.
Herbert. Like, why aren't you beefing up your defense? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. John, what do you think?
I agree. I think you took my points. I was going to say that the Broncos haven't done anything on defense. And I don't know. I think the Raiders. Well, okay. So Little Bobo says Broncos will be improving because Wilson is gone. You're not wrong, and I agree with that too. But it's not a large improvement if we're talking about the whole scale of the team for this year. So I'm gonna say the
Yeah, but
Raiders go 2-0.
we're not talking about this juggernaut playing them. I mean, come on, man, it's the Raiders. Like I'm just saying, if the Raiders Super Bowl is beating the Broncos, yeah, let's count on but like in Kansas City beating the Broncos. Like the Raiders aren't this like come on, let's just be real. Like I wouldn't think they beat them straight. Only Raiders know that.
I'm just gonna say the Raiders are gonna go 2-0 this year against the Broncos. They're big guy. So
I actually enjoy.
Hey, let me ask you this: when do they play in Denver?
I don't remember. I actually enjoy Mike's take on the Raiders because every time he bets against the Raiders, I win. so keep it up. I love it. I mean, it just helps.
It sounds like you're willing to bet that they go 2-0 versus the Broncos. I mean, I could do dinner on that if you want. If you want, I could do dinner on that.
Oh, and it is on. Absolutely on. I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet over the Chiefs. That's for sure.
Okay. All right. It's on.
Let's see. So we got Kansas City. Kansas City has 8 in a row over Washington. I think that's going to continue. Yeah, I mean that'll stay if they end up playing.
They play Christmas Day.
Oh, they do play. Wait, who plays Christmas
Broncos in Denver? Huh?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mike. They play January 7th. Raiders Broncos. The Kansas City Washington is Christmas Day.
Oh, they got to make up for the
7th.
last.
So
Christmas loss.
That game's not even gonna matter, man. I just bet on.
Yeah,
the game.
it's week 18. Yep.
Yeah, both those teams will be eliminated by then. So Raiders just want to end their year on that win. That way they could claim their next year is bright.
Hey,
Bo Nix is gonna have a big game.
I'm gonna rewind the tape, bro. It's already been done.
Oh, I'll say it again. You don't need to rewind it.
Let's see. So, Kansas City. I think we all agree Kansas City is probably going to continue that streak, right? Improve that to 9-0 against Washington.
I'd say yeah.
Yes.
Kansas City also has 8 in a row over Jacksonville. That's not a big surprise there. Are they playing Jacksonville this year?
Yeah, so Saturday, August 10th, it's a preseason week 1 game, so I feel like that doesn't count. But yes, they are playing.
If they had played in the regular season, do you think they would continue that streak?
I don't know. Jacksonville's improved.
I feel like if Jacksonville had the bye, and they're playing against the Chiefs, who maybe had like a rough, a game before, I think Jacksonville could sneak one away. I think Jacksonville's slowly building their team the right way. I mean, I don't necessarily care for Trevor Lawrence, but I mean, I would say that I think Jacksonville's doing the right things to take the steps in a forward progress against the Chiefs. So yeah, I would say yeah.
My Tesla Maze, this is for you, bro.
We on that
Little
bet.
bro said he's on that bet too.
All right, I'll
He
double
said,
down.
"I'll fly down when dinner's ready."
Okay, it'll be. Just let me know where you want to take me.
The more interesting, or at least the highest win versus a single team is Green Bay over the Bears. So this one's interesting because of the improvement the Bears have made. Now, obviously, their O-line needs some help. Hopefully, they can figure that out. I don't know if their defense has enough to hold back Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs, because now they have a better running game. But does Green Bay continue that streak? Do they split?
So let me give you the dates first. You guys can say what you need to. So Sunday, November 17th, that's week 11, Packers versus the Bears. That's in Chicago. And then January 5th, week 18, Bears in Green Bay, Lambeau Field.
I say if they split, they're going to lose that week 18. Green Bay is going to lose that week 18. What do you think, Mike?
I think Bears get one of the two. I mean, remember, 6 of those 8 games came with Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback. So
yeah, that's
fair.
Like
Aaron Rodgers is the dad of the Bears. Like, we all know that. So,
that's 8. That's 8 out of 10 because they got 10 in a row over the Bears.
10 in a row. Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. It's funny because they literally hire coaches just to beat the Packers. And the coaches don't beat the Packers. So it's like you just keep getting fired over and over. But I do think Bears get one of the two this year. I think Bears are I think their defense is vastly improved, even towards the end of last year. I was surprised when they lost Roquan Smith last year. I couldn't believe that I thought they were just throwing in the towel, but getting Sweat over there I think really helped them, and I think they'll be a lot better this year. So I will say they split.
That's still by far, by the way, my favorite Aaron Rodgers celebration when like Packers weren't doing very well, and then they go beat the Bears, and Aaron Rodgers was like, "I still own you."
Yeah,
that was so great. That was like the best part of football, man.
What's funny is Rodgers though only has 1 Super Bowl, so as much as
that's true.
Everyone says he's all-time great. Like, I'm like, hey man, you got a lot of wins in your belt, but you can't really win in the playoffs. So, including as a favorite, multiple times he's lost. So,
I was really hoping Super Soli would show up tonight. I had one question for him, dude. What's going on with your quarterback? I'll make sure to cut this so that he can see it. I'm just curious why Joe Burrow is looking more like a prime Anakin Skywalker. Like, what is going on, my man? What's happening there in Cincinnati, dude?
That's funny.
Come on, Super Sole. Where are you at, man? I made this just for you, my guy.
better than a young Macaulay Culkin. So
that's true. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think the Bears. Actually, I think the Packers take both games unless the Packers are sitting their starters in Week 18. Then I think because Tim Boyle's the backup for Green Bay. After that, it's the rookie Sean Clifford. So I don't really have too much faith in either of them. But yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, if Green Bay's playing for a wild card spot, and they keep in their starters, then I don't see Bears taking that.
Yeah, I agree. I
don't see it.
It's interesting that the NFL's gone to that strategy of divisional games in the last week of the season to create that competitive atmosphere. I will say that, yeah.
It's usually Niners Rams on the West Coast.
Yep.
Makes sense.
I
Let's
mean,
see. For those
it's just unfortunate that it's usually the Broncos Raiders because no one cares about that game.
here we go. Here we go.
Get your
And
revenge,
on
Mikey.
that
Get
note,
your revenge, Big A.
on that note, if you're still watching us, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube at Jam Pack Podcast. Click on that notification button to view us live. We are live every Monday night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Jam Pack Podcast, on Twitter at Jam Pack Pod, and check us out at jampack.com. Things will start to roll out there soon. Just getting out some of the details. Thank you for tuning
I
in.
think I read something like 7 more Fridays till football or something like that. So
We're almost there,
It's coming
guys.
back.
Doesn't sound
It's
so bad.
coming back. Let's go. If you're excited for anything, if you hear any news coming out of your OTAs, your training camps, please let us know. Send us a message on Instagram, and let us know what you see or what you're excited about. We'd love to hear it.
We'll talk about it.
I know we don't always cover every single team here on the podcast, but we want to. We want to know what you guys are excited about in the season to come, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on here. Thank you for tuning in to Jam Pack Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, filled with thrilling sports updates, insightful analysis, and engaging discussions. Make sure you subscribe to us for more exciting content. Like we enjoy every single one of our subscribers. Take care. Make sure you stay active. Keep that sports spirit alive. Make sure you take care of one another. And we will see you guys next time. Later, fellas.
Hey, happy Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. Let's go.
Happy Memorial Day.
Yep.
Later.
See you guys later.